Hello, and welcome to another episode of Philosophical Bones. I'm Nick,
I'm Keith.
and of course, another episode, another month.
Right.
Been about another month.
It's just like the schedule is like not working.
We've both had a lot going on.
Yeah, we definitely.
And we just don't have the opportunity. We're trying to get to a point where we're like both.
Well, like I've got a lot of people like reaching out to me, like, "Where's Nerdy Bones? Where's Nerdy Bones?" Like, we're not going to put it out unless it's good. We're not going to put it out unless it's like we've done our research and
We kind of took a little break. You know, it happens.
Yeah,
It happens to the best of us.
So today in particular, we're doing Philosophical Bones, and I don't know the question beforehand, so I'm just going to get hit with
I
it.
kind of like this one because so I mean, you kind of know what I'm going to ask you right before, but we went out and I'm wearing like a Captain America shirt right now.
Right.
And Keith's got a Star Wars shirt on.
That's right.
We went and did a little thrift shopping.
Yep.
And so the question today this is question 23 is do villains consider themselves to be the hero?
Oh, see, that's a big thing.
Yeah.
Like, well, I bought like a book on psychology today. Like, it's a lot of villains. Okay, so what you have to first do is define what a villain would be.
Ooh.
You know,
What is the definition of a villain?
that would be doing harm as opposed to good.
Well, let me look it up. I'll Google it. Keep talking. I'll Google it.
So a lot of people in psychology. Okay, so you look at like Ted Bundy.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't understand what he was doing was evil. If he did understand what he was doing was evil, he just kept doing it anyway. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you get into like the government type of, you know, like I'm not going to bring up Trump or blah, blah, blah.
Blah, blah, blah.
but,
Hoody blah, blah.
but, you know, like a lot of those, they do what they think is the best, but it's also hurting more people than it's doing good.
So the first definition of a villain is a character whose evil actions or motives are important to the plot. Which is like, okay. The person or thing responsible for specified trouble, harm, or damage. And then let's see. The origin of this word is Latin. It's villa. And
Okay.
And then English is villa, and then it just goes into, and then Old French is vilain, or something like that, and it just going into villa.
Who do you think would be the biggest villain in history?
But well, let me go to. Give me let me. I just want
You
to.
just
I want to make sure we're getting.
I'm still looking.
So a villain is a bad person, real or made up, in books, movies, current events, or history. The villain is a character who does mean does mean to do evil things on purpose. In the 1300s, villain described as a low-born rustic. It came from the medieval Latin word villainus, or farmhand.
What?
Yeah.
Farmhand?
Yeah, let me find the Merriam-Webster dictionary. Okay. I got to give the different, this actually helps to know this. So a character in a story or play who opposes the hero, a deliberate scoundrel or criminal, one blamed for a particular evil or difficulty, an uncouth person also.
Uncouth. I've always loved that. Uncouth.
You're so uncouth.
They call Aladdin uncouth.
Yeah. So it's kind of, just somebody.
What is couth?
I'm not going into that, man. But yeah, one blame for a particular evil or difficulty. That's actually good. I think or someone who's deliberately a scoundrel or criminal.
Well, like just not to
or
like
someone who opposes the hero. So you could say in real life that villains are criminals who oppose the heroes, which would be the police.
Yeah.
To give a generalization.
Well, I have something I kind of want to rant on here for a second. So you look at like I said, we stay away from politics. But okay, this is where I'm going to go with this.
Okay.
Adolf Hitler. He thought he was doing good by creating a quote unquote superior race.
Sorry to interrupt. I just want to say this part. I remember that there's like a quote someone saying like, not the one about from Batman, which I'm sure we'll bring up, but it was about like in somebody's or in everybody's story, they're the hero. They're never the villain.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm thinking.
Well, you always think you're the hero.
Yeah, you're always the hero of your own story.
Yeah. Like you made me think of something cool. Like Joe Rogan put up this really cool video like 2 years ago, maybe 3, and I suggest checking this out.
Okay, it
says be the hero of your own movie.
Oh yeah,
yeah. You know what I'm talking about?
That's a famous quote. Yeah,
be the hero of your if your life was a movie, be the hero. Like whatever.
But I was driving past like it was like a mechanic's place or something. It said, be the person your dog thinks you are. Which is true.
I've seen that. Yeah, I've seen that. Well, in like the last couple days in my life, I haven't been. I've been the villain in the last couple days of my
Well, your
life.
nickname is Rufus the Villain.
Yes, yes.
But that's like
Yeah.
just because it sounded cool, right?
Yeah, yeah. Well, thing is last couple days of my life, shit's gone shitty
Yeah.
because I can't blame him. Like, can't blame it 100% on me.
No.
But I'm also not the most wholesome person in the world.
Well, are we?
And,
Are any of us?
Well, we like to think we are. But
Is anybody really innocent?
what I'm getting at is my actions were benefiting me and nobody else. And like I was trying to make things make it good for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, but in that same note, making things good for me might make things shitty for another person. You get what I'm saying?
No, totally.
So like it's really easy to put yourself on a pedestal. And like what I'm doing is
Everyone, yeah,
Good.
everyone thinks nobody likes to think of themselves as the villain.
yeah, I get that.
Well, I mean,
man.
one thing I love, of course, you have to bring up comic books in this, comic movies, TV shows, is I think the best way this was ever done, I think, honestly, was in Daredevil season 1
Okay.
with the Kingpin.
Okay.
And it was great because at one point during the show, like you got to see his origins and everything, and you actually started to feel for the guy.
Well,
And you got
yeah.
his point of view and what was going on in his head. You got to see and understand like where he was coming from.
Well, like
And you saw he did see himself as like he saw the Daredevil as the villain.
right.
he was
all
the
a matter,
problem.
It's all a matter of perspective.
Like I'm trying to do all this good, that is what he thinks. And
Yeah, yeah.
and you actually start to see that. Like, maybe he's not that bad a guy. Of course they twisting it and be like, no, he is a bad guy.
Well, you have to look at actions
Yeah,
as opposed to like the end goal.
true.
Yeah, you have to look at actions. Like anybody that's like, I have a hard time with this question not going to like politics.
Yeah.
And I hate fucking. I hate fucking.
Well, if you're talking about
politics.
Hitler, I think you're okay. That's history. That's not politics.
Yeah, yeah. But you have to look at people that are like,
Unless it's some Nazi listing, which we're always very clear. Fuck Nazis.
fuck Nazis. But like, there's a lot of like leaders throughout history that, in their mind, thought that they were like benefiting their people.
Yeah.
And look at I'm gonna go ahead and say this.
Mm-hmm.
Look at Kim Jong Un, or
They're honestly, you see a lot of those guys, dictators and unfortunately authoritarian regimes have become more commonplace in the world nowadays.
it is, and
And I
that's,
can't believe I got that line out. It's
yeah,
kinda
you
crazy.
said it. You said it straight.
But those guys, I only say this because those guys are more power driven.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
really aren't there. They aren't there to make people's lives better.
It's
Not really.
Well,
they only care about accumulating power for themselves and wealth.
That's what makes a true villain.
Yeah,
That's what makes it
nice. I didn't think we were gonna bring it back that way.
Yeah, that's what makes a true villain.
Yeah.
Like you
And in their eyes, they are the good guy.
yeah, but that's what makes a true villain.
Mm.
Like you look at like I keep trying to like think of like these historical concepts.
Mm-hmm.
Genghis Khan.
Yeah.
He was a villain.
Oh yeah, totally.
He
But he did do a lot for the world.
half of
Didn't
us
he?
half of us have his DNA.
He opened the trade routes for the
yeah,
world.
yeah. Like half of us have his DNA, which is
Well, no, half the people in China, I think. is what it is.
that's what it is. Yeah, yeah. But it's
Or at least half the people in Mongolia, something like that. I think it's half the people in
it's
Mongolia.
kind of fucking out of control.
Yeah.
But like you said, he opened a lot of trade routes, changed a lot of things, but he killed more people than he helped.
Oh yeah.
So that
Well, the Khans were that way.
yeah.
They ruled for how many
Dude,
centuries?
I don't. Well, I started research because we're gonna.
Oh yeah,
do-
we were gonna do Genghis Khan.
Yeah, I started research on Genghis Khan. Trust me, I've got like some stuff in line, but like I forget the year that he was born. The big thing it was okay. So I'm gonna just drop
He had like 100 kids too, didn't he?
more than that.
Yeah.
I'll drop a little bit right here. So he was born to a very poor person, because I don't want to ruin the episode when we do it.
It might be a while before that happens.
But still, I don't want to ruin it because I got fucking pages, brother.
Oh, okay.
Like he was born to a very poor Mongol, put his empire together. The big thing is like for somebody in that situation to do what he did, fucking took a lot, dude. It took a lot. Like so, he was a villain in getting to that point. Like he had to kill and rape and fuck his way there.
Nice.
You know, I'm sorry.
Do you kind of have to become the villain though to really get where you want to be?
Yeah, I wish you guys
Look
could
at fucking CEOs nowadays.
Yeah, I wish you
The
guys could-
corporate.
I wish you guys could have seen me. I went,
You almost do it. You know, it's kind of fucked up nowadays. It's like, you know, it's just the old adage is like work hard and you'll get ahead. And I mean, that still applies in some industries, of course. But then there are other times where if you don't kiss enough ass or you don't know the right person, you know, you're kind of fucked. And you do have to become that villain. You do have to become the villain.
well, you bring up something awesome that I need.
But
to,
they consider that themselves they're the hero in their own stories because they're doing good for them.
Well, you bring up something awesome that I need to touch on.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I've been studying a lot of sociology and like I bought a book today. Whatever.
Yeah.
But
Sociology is my jam, man.
yeah, but okay. So here's a big thing that I've been reading. Most CEOs, most bosses are what is actually considered a sociopath.
I've heard that before.
Yeah, because you have to have no.
Are they psychopaths too, or is it just
psychopath could be there.
Okay.
Psychopath could be there because psychopathy is something very specific. That means that, like, okay, so a sociopath is somebody that doesn't think about what the consequences are to other people.
Okay.
They just are. This is what I need. This is what I'm going to do. A psychopath has that same thing, but a little twitch more.
Okay.
And, you know, they're more set to violence. Like, okay, so this decision that I make might make this person die, but I don't care.
Oh.
You know, like
Yeah, it's kind of like when they decide on like paying people, for instance.
Exactly.
Or like their workers.
yeah, exactly. Like there's a lot of
They give themselves massive bonuses and stock buybacks and make all this money, and then but the workers they don't give a shit about.
exactly.
Which is where you're having a lot of issues now, where people are like fuck the rich.
Well, like here's the other.
Which I mean, I'm totally for, you know, fuck over the rich.
Well, here's the flip side of the coin. Without psychopaths and psychopaths and sociopaths, America wouldn't be what it is.
I feel bad for kind of saying fuck over the rich now.
Well,
I think what I mean to
fuck
say
that.
is like they should be taxed the fuck out of because they, you know, in America,
well,
good to them.
they should pay equally.
They should pay equally. I just wanted to put that out there. I wanted to make sure I got my point.
You're wearing a Captain America shirt. You should be saying
Fucking
that shit. But like that, the thing is like that's.
Well, you know, look at. Oh, go ahead.
No. The thing is like without sociopaths, without psychopaths, society actually wouldn't have actually been put together. That's one of the big things I've been reading is like without somebody that's a sociopath, they're not going to put together like a tribe and then make it bigger.
Oh, so you kind of need them.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Like if everybody is just I forget what the word is, but without a like
kind of a beta. Even though I guess
beta would be a good way.
I guess
to put
there's.
it.
I remember watching I was listening to Adam Conover, who does Adam Ruins Everything on Rogan, and he said they got the most flack for when they said that there's no such thing as an alpha male.
So
I don't remember all that stuff,
but you're right.
No, there's scientific evidence to prove.
You quoted that perfectly.
Yeah.
But that's the thing is like what I was getting at with all the sociology books I've been reading. Without sociopaths, society wouldn't exist.
Okay.
Because there wouldn't be somebody that would.
Somebody they're not alpha males, they're just sociopaths.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, like because you wouldn't be able to put aside. Okay, these 5,000 people might suffer from what I'm going to do, but what I'm going to do is going to make us like be able to build a building, or make a law, or you get what I'm saying?
Yeah,
you know?
They're gonna get shit done.
Yeah, like we're like think about like in the 30s. I think it was the 30s when they built the World Trade Center.
No, I don't think. It was
when,
later when the World Trade Center was built. I think it's like more like 70s. 80s.
What I'm getting at though is there's a lot of people that had to suffer to get that building made.
Oh yeah.
But without a sociopath, that building would never have been made because they're like, oh no, these guys are gonna it's gonna fucking suck for these guys to make this building. But you know, a sociopath is like, get this fucking building made.
Yeah, I don't care who has to suffer in the process.
Like think about the classic image of like a construction worker sitting on a beam eating a sandwich.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like that wouldn't have never happened without somebody that didn't care.
To care to innovate.
Yeah, they did. If they cared about these guys fucking 50 stories up, putting this shit together, they might fall, they might hurt themselves.
That was at a different time too. Well, now it's a lot. I mean, it's a lot more different. There's so much more safety and everything's
But
more regulated.
do you get what I'm saying though?
Yeah.
Like that in that time, that wouldn't have happened.
True.
You know, like if they didn't, you know, think about like the one thing I'll throw out is like Bonnie and Clyde. Like they only got notoriety because they took themselves out of the world that they were in. Dude, like I saw, I was listening to the last podcast and they did a story about them, and Clyde, I forget his last name, but he never made more than in today's money more than like $11 a day.
Okay.
You know, so like he had to. So I'm like.
Well, it goes back to, you know, like, would you steal a loaf of bread type thing? Feed your family.
Well, what I'm doing is I'm painting a picture here. Is like without him having a sociopathy to create something more for himself, he would have just spent another Dust Bowl dead person.
Yeah.
Sorry, I know I ran.
You know,
I know I ran.
One thing I just realized now is like when I think of like movies and comic books is like if you. Nobody really does this unless it's kind of forced upon them. But if you really put yourself in the character of like the villain, the perspective is pretty interesting.
Mm-hmm. It really is.
It was like, oh, you know, actually, I think Clerks made a good argument about like the Death Star, where they go into like, you know, like, oh, it's like, I'm an independent contractor. I'm working on the Death Star, and you know, and all of a sudden these rebels show up, and I'm like, I'm just there doing my job.
Well, like
and these rebels show up and they're causing trouble. And I'm just trying to feed my family, and then all of a sudden, because I'm working there, I get blown up. You know, how are they not the villains in the story?
Exactly.
It's all about perspective, man.
Exactly. Well, like that's like you were kind of, excuse me, you were kind of like nonchalantly piggybacking on what I was saying. About like Bonnie and Clyde.
Through a Star Wars reference.
Yeah, like they were just doing what they did they just wanted to survive.
Yeah.
Well, of course. You know, if you know anything about them, they wanted to be famous, but they were doing what they needed to do to like have food.
True.
You know, like that's.
But they just went on a spree, though.
They did.
I watched that movie, The Highwaymen. I actually learned a lot.
Oh, dude, you can't watch that movie.
Why?
No, you can't watch that movie and actually know what happened.
Okay.
And you know, like Clyde was not impetent. None of that.
Oh, they never said that, did
yes,
they?
Yes, they did.
I don't remember them saying that.
Yes, they did. Like I know that for a fact
right.
because I just like went through the source material.
Oh, well, maybe it was a sort, or I don't fucking know. It doesn't matter, dude.
What I'm getting at is okay. So your concept of anybody's concept of what is good and evil is actually subjective.
Ooh.
That's what I'm getting at.
Yeah.
That's all of my ranting comes down.
Well, yeah,
to.
You get like, I mean, the big thing for you is serial killers. I mean,
yeah.
And obviously those guys don't think it. Like most of those guys don't consider themselves evil.
None of them do.
Yeah,
none of them do.
There's a few that admit near the end. I was like, yeah, that was some bad shit.
Well, like Ramirez,
they regret it.
Ramirez did it to be evil.
Yeah,
that was like his thing. It was like I'm evil.
And then didn't Dahmer like regretted it?
Oh, he fucking way regretted it.
And he's like, yeah, I'm the bad guy.
Yeah, he said I'm the bad guy, and he actually repented and like became a Christian. And
yeah. Well, I was watching the newest season of Jessica Jones.
Oh yeah.
And I don't know. I don't think this is a big spoiler. I'm not going to say who the character was or anything, but at one point during the show, one of the characters is like, they're getting explained all the bad shit they've done over time. And then they just like listening to this, and they're just like staring at space, like crying, and they're like, and they're just like, I'm the villain or I'm the bad guy, and it was like in their mind, because the whole time it might actually, if you want to know a good example of the hero considered or the villain considered the hero, they actually do a really good job of that in the newest season of Jessica Jones. Nice, because you get to the end and they like the character, and like this girl's like, or one of the characters is just like. I'm doing this right. I'm doing the, you know, I'm the good guy. You'll see. And then in the end, they realize like, fuck, I'm the bad guy. Like I became what I'm fought against.
Well,
we'll make the Batman reference. I said we're gonna bring it up. The Batman reference about you either
live long enough to die. Oh no, how does it go exactly? You either die a hero or live long enough to become the villain, or
see yourself become the villain.
Yeah. And that's.
That was probably the best line of that whole movie.
Yeah,
I love that movie though. That's like that's like my number, like maybe like 2 or 3 best comic movie.
Oh, dude, yeah, no question.
Dark Knight.
Well, you brought
the first one was good. The third one was like all right, like it was okay, but Dark Knight was fucking fantastic.
Well,
that's because I love Heath Ledger's Joker, and you fucking hate it.
I've actually
you warmed up a little bit.
The thing is I just have.
I'm looking forward to seeing the Joaquin Phoenix one though.
I am. The thing is like Joker is something that I wish you got. Joker is something that I hold close to my heart.
I know.
I mean, I love the Joker, and like Mark Hamill's always been my Joker,
Mm-hmm.
or Jack
Me too.
Nicholson, Like those are like, and to see,
Well, we both got Mark Hamill as number one though.
yeah, and like to see this iteration that Heath Ledger portrayed, amazing. Got to say it was amazing, but it didn't feel like the Joker to me.
Okay. Well, you know what the thing with the Joker is the Joker. He knows he's the villain.
Oh yeah,
He likes being the villain. He embraces it.
yeah, that's
He
his
never thinks
thing.
of himself as the hero.
That's his thing. He's
Wasn't there's probably some Joker story where he like became Batman for a little while.
yeah. I forget what that was. That was called The Batman Who Laughs, I think.
Oh, that's a newer one, I think.
Yeah, I think.
Well, no, that's
I
the
could-
evil Batman from like an alternate universe.
Oh, you're right.
yeah,
You're right.
yeah, like I think like Batman gets
you're-
infected with the Joker.
You're right because he actually Bruce actually kills Joker in that
yeah,
story.
but I think it was an alternate
Yeah.
an Elseworlds
Yeah.
one. Even-
Also, because they did 6 of
Well, I think-
those, and like
I think did they bring it in the main continuity?
no.
No?
I think they did 6 of those. Like the coolest one I saw was where
It was an alternate Earth.
it was called Red Death. Was the coolest one that I saw, where it's Bruce goes to Barry Allen. Just if you guys don't if aren't as nerdy as we
Just skip through
the
it.
Flash,
Yeah.
Flash. He takes powers away from the Flash, and and he becomes the Red Death. It's
Okay.
an evil Batman with speed.
Okay. But that Batman
Dope.
probably still considers himself to be the hero,
Exactly.
even though he's killing people.
Well, he took the powers away from the Flash
Okay.
to be a hero, which is also
and save the universe type thing. But it's like,
Yeah.
no, you're the bad guy.
yeah, exactly, exactly.
They always do that little spin, man.
Well, like one of the I was gonna bring it up a minute ago. One of the iconic villains that is playing the hero role is Magneto.
Oh, that's an interesting one,
Yeah,
actually.
because he's trying to save the mutant race.
Yeah,
He's always like
he's always fighting the X-Men and he's fighting humans.
but he's also
He's like, I'm not the bad guy.
but he's also led the X-Men.
Yeah,
Like so in his mind, he's
he's always on boat. He always toes the line.
yeah.
He's never a true. He's never
done anything really evil. If you think about it for
Yeah.
a minute, he's never really think about Magneto stories for 60 years. He's never done anything truly evil. Like he's fought and
But
whatever.
a lot of people consider him a villain. But
because he's against the X-Men.
yeah,
Because
but in a way, but he's a hero to a lot of people
well, okay, so if you were a mutant, he'd be your hero.
because he's trying to help us. Yeah,
Exactly.
But then at the same time, like Xavier's like, no, I'm trying to help you too by making peace with humans.
see that's
But at the same time, people are like, well, you can't make peace with humans because they're
What's-
trying to kill us.
what side
The prejudice.
what side would you fall out of that?
Oh, I
I
don't know.
Would you try to fight for equality or just understand that I'm sorry?
you're never gonna get it.
Well, the way I'm going to phrase this is like, oh, okay. So you put a human and a mutant. What is superior?
The mutant.
Yeah. Where would you if you were a true?
I mean, personally, I would want equality.
I would love equality, but think about race wars and stuff like that. It's never going to happen.
It does. It takes time.
I'm just playing the devil's
Yeah.
advocate. I'm playing the devil's advocate.
Well, you look at I mean, the X-Men were created around the Civil Rights era.
Their whole story is the civil rights era.
Yeah.
That's the whole thing. That's
Well, it
the
came
whole-
out after the Civil Rights movement.
Yeah, well, the whole point of the X-Men is to tell the story of inequality.
Yeah.
That's like the whole point of X-Men. So you put Magneto. Okay, so you have I wish you guys could see me. Far right hand to the right, Magneto over here. Professor X far right hand, or far left hand to the left.
Mm-hmm.
There's this thing in the middle where they have to meet. There's this thing that has to be done. You get what I'm saying? Remember the Hellfire Club?
Mm-hmm.
The Hellfire Club took Phoenix and tried.
Let's not go too comic out there.
Oh, all right,
We're kind of getting a little out there with our stuff, even though this is what we enjoy.
I'm sorry.
We still
I'm sorry.
want to make it. It's like somebody's going to be listening. It's
Well-
like this isn't what I normally listen to. Philosophical.
Well,
bones.
the point that I'm trying to make is I'm just going to bring my point to a close. Professor X, Magneto, both believe that they're doing something good.
yeah.
Both of them have people on their sides that believe that they're doing something good. Why is Professor X wrong? Why would be Magneto wrong?
I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. So that's
It's all about perspective.
that's the point that I was trying to.
No, yeah, I mean that is the thing with that's interesting about villains.
Yeah,
is
like
or villain hero dynamic is it's all about perspective.
yeah.
I mean, you know, one just came to mind actually is like Home Alone. Honestly, who's like
The Wet Bandit.
I mean, like, yeah, these guys are kind of coming in this kid's home and trying to steal a bunch of shit from him. So they kind of are the bad guys, but at the same time,
Well, they're
the heroes in their own story, though.
Exactly
Because you know, it's like, hey, we're trying to support ourselves.
they're breaking the law.
Yeah.
But
And this kid is one is the villain. He's fucking terrorizing him, being a dick and
well, like
trying to kill him
one of the big things I saw was
because he would have killed them in real life.
Yeah.
They would have died.
a brick to the face of
Oh, dude, burn in the hand, all that shit.
like
Slipping on the steps, he would have broken his back.
like I saw a thing on Facebook the other day. I'm sure you guys are all familiar with Game of Thrones, but the thing that I saw was Khaleesi is a villain.
Oh yeah.
If you look at what she does,
Yeah.
she's a villain.
No, that's actually a good way to put it too.
Yeah, she's a fucking
Because she
villain.
was I think they even might have talked about it. She was especially towards the end, or no, that you realize over time actually watching it that she was pretty much the villain towards all these other people.
Yeah, well, she was the breaker of chains.
Yeah.
She.
But she killed all those rich people.
Yep.
It's like just look at all the people that she killed. It's like, oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah, think about it for a minute.
That's right.
Think-
She is the bad
like
guy.
when she takes over.
But
that,
in her story, she is definitely the hero.
well, she believes she's the hero
Yeah.
because she's freeing slaves, and
So, but it's not often that a villain will even ever say that. Like,
I'm a bad guy.
yeah,
I'm a bad guy.
yeah.
Like the only ones that I can think of that would be like I'm a bad guy is like dude, I'm like drawing a blank. It's like I'm here to do the devil's work. I forget what that. Oh, House of a Thousand Corpses.
Okay,
He says I'm here to do the devil's work.
yeah.
It's like that's legit.
That's
Just
a good
like
one too. Yeah, murderers. Yeah,
yeah, like
or was it Son of Sam? Was like the dog made me do it.
yep. The
You know,
44 caliber killer. Yeah.
You think he was like saying like, oh, I'm a bad guy or I'm the villain?
Well, he didn't understand.
No, I was told to do this.
Yeah, he believed a Labrador Retriever was
Yeah.
telling him to do that shit.
I think you should kill that guy. Do you, really? Yes, I'm God.
Yeah, pretty much, man. Pretty much.
So I don't think we can really say much more.
No, that was a
Kinda
good
our
one, man.
point. So this has been question 23. Do villains consider themselves to be the hero? And honestly, the answer I think we both have is it's all about your perspective.
Yeah.
So I hope you enjoyed it and keep thinking.